Welcome back to the Clean Slate Video Club. I'm your host, Carson Phillips, here with the newly Christmas spirited Daniel. Even though it's Halloween, he's in the mood to give. We're doing 31 for 31, so that means 31 horror films or Halloween-ish vibe films for the month of October. We're really pretty much here in the end zone. We have a couple movies left, and right now we are watching a movie here at the club that is, it's kind of a big deal because it was made by another YouTuber. Not that we think of ourselves as YouTubers, but we are, I guess. And he's done movie reviews that are much more popular than ours. But this is, Mr. Chris Stuckmann's. How do you say his last name?
I think it's Stuckmann.
Shelby Oaks. This is a half found footage, half traditional horror film. I don't know if that's a spoiler, so I'm sorry if it is. Comment down below if you knew that or not. But yeah, I think this is a great movie to talk about. This is what we all strive for, everyone making probably content about movies wants to make movies.
Yeah.
So it's cool that he got to do it. And yeah, let's hear that log line.
All right, guys. So here is the log line. A woman's desperate search for her long-lost sister falls into an obsession upon realizing that the imaginary demon from their childhood may not have been real.
I didn't know too much about this movie going in.
I didn't even know the logline.
I remember the poster was pretty dang good. All the posters.
The first initial
Where's Riley,
trailers
or what's her name?
were kind of like the teasers were really cool.
See, but the trailer, when I saw the trailer, I had my worries that this movie was going to be middling. And unfortunately, I think it is very middle of the road for me. But I'm going to talk about the good things first, because I did really enjoy this film, and I think it has a lot going on that I enjoy. The first 30 minutes are like pure mockumentary gold. I think it works really well. The pacing is so much better than a lot of the other found footage films I've seen recently. But then there's this switch where it goes into like a traditional narrative film, which that transition is really sweet. Like, it's sick the way they do it. It honestly, I thought you would think it'd be more jarring, but it was just more cool. Like, it was just like a cool thing to see happen. The way they did that was awesome. The film has a couple good scares early on for me, like especially like the setup of like, oh, this is the last tape of her before she went missing, and you hear like all the noise and creepiness in the background. The demon in this also looks quite creepy. It does remind me a little bit, if you've seen the TV show Evil, there's you see the demons all the time in that show, and it kind of reminds me of that vibe, just not funny, because that show's kind of like a comedic horror thing going on. But yeah, so I think it does work well, the aesthetic of that and the design. I also really enjoyed, I think the performances were pretty good, at least from our main actress. I think she did a great job. The old lady at the end is actually really creepy. Without falling into some of the same old lady tropes a lot of these movies do. So I appreciated that. And overall, I think it's just a well-made movie. My biggest gripes end up being plot issues, and I don't want to spoil the end of the movie, but it does fall into a couple tropes that I'm a fan of. I just think it's been done a lot. So if you've seen stuff like Rosemary's Baby, The First Omen, was the Sydney Sweeney one that came out recently. It's been done a lot. This Immaculate, yes, thank you. So this, okay, spoiler alert. Demon Baby has been done a lot in movies at this point. And I think there's always room to keep doing the same things and reinventing it. This movie just doesn't really reinvent it in a way that like works for me. It also takes a lot of notes from, I think this movie does take a lot of notes from like mid-2000s horror. So if you're a fan of that time period, like 2010, 12, maybe up to 2015 even, it kind of has that vibe for me. Like, there's some parts that feel almost like sinister or maybe even like insidious at times even, which kind of works. But yeah, it just feels like a hodgepodge of movies. That's kind of, my take on it. But what did you think? Did you enjoy this? Dislike it?
We've been doing this thing lately where you say your likes and dislikes at the same time.
At the same time.
With like 3 minutes to talk if we're trying to keep these
just
episodes
say do both. Talk about both. I'm sorry.
Anyway, we're just going a little rogue here, and this isn't Wetzel's watch list, as I say again.
I'm sorry. Hey, follow him.
Oh my gosh, it's like a subtle like plug. Also,
He sucks.
okay, so first off, the intro to this movie was like very much so like, wow, okay, so we're getting a good story here. Like it seems interesting. I was a little bit worried that the movie was going to turn into this just entire mockumentary, and I was like, oh no, like I am not like it's going to take away so much. And then when it finally switches, I was like, yo, it feels like
Cool switch.
Chris Stuckmann like flexed his like film muscle a bit in this movie, because the cinematography is really cool in this movie.
There's some really great shots. Yeah,
cinematography is really, really good, and I was just kind of like on board from the get-go. My biggest worry is, for me, I was highly anticipating this movie, and once the tomato meter came out, now that's always with a grain of salt, like especially when it comes to horror movies. There's always been really good horror movies that go really low by the reviewers, or really bad. Like, for instance, one that held true, I would say, is Weapons in most recent like time. Weapons did amazing with the critics, but this was bad on both ends for audience and critics. So I was getting a little bit feared.
How low was it? Was it?
They were both like in the 50s or not lower. I think 40s.
Oh wow.
Yeah. For both of them. So it wasn't like, audience score was 60.
It's crazy because I'm pretty sure most people watching this are like fans of his work, or at least know of him.
Right.
So that's kind of suck. That must hurt.
Yeah, I'm
that
sure.
Probably hurts, man.
So for me, the part that like fell through was just really pacing of the story. Like I was still on board with the story in general, but it felt like
it slows down drastically at some point.
And then the last 15 minutes, it's like they ramp it back up and try to cram everything in at the end. Mm-hmm. And it just felt like weird. Like it felt weird sitting there and being like, gosh, like I thought they did the tension really well in this movie. Like when she's first discovering the tape and everything, and she's really curious. But then, I don't know if you've ever watched this movie, but it's called The Knowing. Yeah, remember The Knowing with Nicolas Cage?
Nick Cage?
It did something similar to where
that's a deep cut.
Where the tension of the entire movie is really, really good. But then on the back half of the movie, it's just like everything needs to happen right now, and this is the way that we've been setting it up. So let's make it happen within like 20 minutes, and you're just like, oh my god, you're like almost exhausted from like the amount of movie that you just saw because they were setting it up so long. So I think there's like an imbalance of pacing there.
It's a short movie too, so they're trying to do a lot in a short amount of time.
I had really high hopes for this movie, and I would still probably give it like a 2.5, 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd give it maybe a 3.5. A for effort.
I just wanted it to end worse. Like the fact that like the spoiler, that happens and then it happens again. It felt like cheap to me instead of it just all happening right then and there. It's almost like everything's going on and then a brief pause.
Because it escalates pretty good
2 minutes.
And then it cuts back to mockumentary again.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh gosh. So it was very hard to not keep up with, but it was very hard to like figure out what they were doing. And even you and I were talking about like the messaging. I was like, I have no idea what the messaging is on this movie.
I think it literally is like Satan's pro-life. That's the I don't know, man.
Yeah, so anyway, it fell short. It was missing something. But I don't think it was missing that much. Like if it could have had like one
so
different
close
thing,
to
it
being
would have
great.
been an amazing movie up there with Weapons for me, and Black Phone 2.
It has some really good scares, man. Like the atmosphere and everything, and like the sets. I think like the set pieces. So like the prison, the town, and even like the woods at the end. It all looks really cool. Like good. It's all. Everyone's firing on full cylinders except for the screenplay, in my opinion. So
I mean, I don't know.
Your mileage may vary, but
okay. Well, guys, that is it for Shelby Oaks. Oh, out of 10, how scared are you? And if you're in this situation, you're the sister.
Who am I?
You're the sister. We're always
am I the sister that's been kidnapped, or the sister?
No, you're the protagonist.
Oh, I'm the
always the protagonist.
bro, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Destiny goes missing. Brittany goes missing.
Sayonara.
I ain't going out to no
Especially
scary
12
cabin.
years afterwards, like, get over it already.
Get over it. Yeah. No, I would. Okay, I'd at least be packing. You know, that's what it comes down to. All of these.
Well, especially
I'm
when
ready
you
to
find
fight.
out that most of the things are like pretty mortal here. Like,
Also, I'd kill the baby. Satan baby gone. But also, her husband sucks.
yeah, her husband again, another faulty husband in these movies.
All these husbands in horror films, man, they need to step it up.
Anyway, guys, well, that's Shelby Oaks. It is still in theaters, so if you want to go check it out, go support a young up and coming independent director. You know, did all of this by himself and a little bit of help of what's his face? What's his name?
Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, Mike Flanagan. So go check
Big
it out.
boy.
Let us what you think. Let us know what you think, if it's good or if you kind of side with the rest of everybody. And it misses a little bit. But sorry, Chris. Maybe you'll have us on and we can discuss it more in details of what you need help with. And then you can
Yeah,
hire
right,
us.
man.
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, that's Shelby Oaks. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, and go follow us on all of our social medias. We are at the tail end of 31 Days of Halloween. Halloween is almost here. We got a big finale for you guys, and we're really excited to do it. So we will see you tomorrow with another film. Peace. Oh wait, be kind, rewind.
Peace. Peace.